In a dark room, located on the edge of an abandoned city, lived a lonely man named Edgar. With a penchant for the melancholic and macabre, he spent his days contemplating his image in an old Gothic mirror that he had salvaged from a dilapidated mansion sale. The mirror had intricate carvings of gargoyles and vines, and it reflected a pale face with sunken eyes. Every time Edgar looked into the mirror, he felt a mysterious dread overtaking him, as if it showed him more than he could bear. He often joked to himself, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most tragic of them all?" Only, the mirror never found it funny. On a particularly stormy night, as the wind howled and rain pelted the decrepit windows, Edgar stared into the mirror. To his horror, he noticed the eyes in the reflection moved slowly, following him wherever he went. "Oh great, now my reflection has decided to get a life," he muttered nervously, trying to laugh it off. But the more he tried to move away, the eyes got closer and closer. The mirror eyes seemed to have that invasive quality of a nosy neighbor with binoculars, annoyingly relentless and utterly creepy. The next evening, exhausted from a day of avoidance and paranoia, Edgar collapsed into his bed. Just as he began to drift into an uneasy sleep, a piercing scream jolted him upright. The room was bathed in an eerie green glow coming from the mirror. Edgar's reflection wasn't alone, another face, distorted and terrifying, had appeared next to it. It looked like a ghoul with a botched Botox job, definitely not something you'd swipe right on. As Edgar tried to scream, he found his voice gargling in his throat. A mysterious force seemed to grip him, pulling him towards the mirror. He clawed at the floor, but with an unsettling pop, he disappeared into the glass. The next day, the police, led by Officers Jenkins and Ramirez, veterans in handling the odd but never the paranormal, found Edgar lying on the floor in front of the mirror. His face was pale, eyes wide open in eternal astonishment, his expression frozen, like he'd seen the world's worst meme. There was no trace of the disfigured face, only the empty Gothic mirror hanging innocently on the wall. Officer Jenkins scratched his head and remarked to Ramirez, "Well, I guess we can rule out death by natural causes. Unless, of course, staring at yourself in a Gothic mirror counts as a medical condition now." The officers left, leaving the mirror, and its haunting gaze, behind. Unbeknownst to them, Edgar's reflection smiled slyly, ready to welcome its next visitor.